Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And SandyClaws.
And Jacob Wile as well.
And two of us just got back from going to Disneyland. Can you guess which two based on the picture in front of you? I'm sorry, Jacob.
Not me.
Oh, boy. So, Sandy, for the good folks at home, can you clarify, this picture was taken maybe about a minute after we first met in person?
Yeah, like we're not even inside. Yeah,
we're not even like through security yet. Like we're not even on the Esplanade.
Yeah, we're probably like a block from where we met.
Right.
Nice.
Oh boy. All right, so Sandy, we don't have any time to waste. We have a very eventful day to talk about. Anything you want to like go over about the flight in and whatnot?
I'd rather not waste any time talking about that. It was all pretty straightforward.
Fair enough.
The one big thing was walking outside the airport and immediately seeing this huge, monstrous palm tree. I
was actually fortunate enough to be talking to you on Facebook Live while that was happening, and that was a treat for me, Sandy, for me to experience you like seeing Southern California and like the palm tree and everything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't been to Southern California in a long time, so that was...
And just the trip of, like, us talking to each other, and, like, I had just been at that airport, like, maybe 6 hours ago. I'd been, like, watching, like, Nickelodeon Halloween episodes with Monkey the whole time. And so just the head trip of, like, oh, my God, like, you are at the same airport that I was, like, 6 hours ago, and, like 6 hours from now, we'll be meeting up for rope drop. Like, holy crap, this is happening. Very surreal.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so yes, let's, of course, Sandy, I remember there was this one woman who, as we were filming each other, and, like, just so giddy to meet up, there's this one woman like, oh, I love your enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that woman, okay.
And then I was like, that's what I love about Disney, you know what I mean? Because I explained to her, I was like, yeah, we're like literally first meeting. This is like the first time we're meeting up, and we've been doing podcasts together for years, and like, it's great, man. It was a great experience. You could just feel the energy coming off of us, like all this pent up excitement that we had about meeting up and going to this place that we talked about for so long.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm still getting over all that. I don't think I'll ever get over all that. It's an experience of a lifetime.
Okay, so as we're walking in, Sandy, into Sandy, just wait. I'm kind of narrating this. If you want to kind of take us through any of this, yes, we get our bag checked. Thank you. Very thorough security system, I must say. We didn't wait long at all to get through security.
Oh no! And when we were checking our tickets too, that took less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Like I think the whole time they're there, I think Disney has really become very efficient when it comes to that. I have no idea how. Jacob, is it efficient at Disney World? Because you're kind of like the expert at that now.
No, they were actually pretty efficient there. I mean, like pretty much every park you went to kind of had security. And pretty much every place you were in and out in less than a minute to get. I mean, I'm guessing pretty much unless somebody had something dangerous or you had to. Well, like I also had like a fanny pack with me, so I had to empty all that out. But other than that, it was done fairly quickly. I mean, they had a lot of kiosks for that, so probably most likely to make sure of that.
All right, so Sandy, we're walking through the gates where, we see the floral Mickey. And most importantly, Sandy, I make a point to have us stop beneath the tunnel and read the plaque, like here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy. Yeah. I make a point of that, Sandy. And there's another thing that I'm going to make a point of on the way out that we'll get to kind of circle back around. So, so we go through Main Street. And, Sandy, I got to tell you, when I heard the narration, the your attention, please, the Disneyland Limited, I Oh, goosebumps, Sandy. Just goosebumps.
I know I got goosebumps too because so many things here I just wasn't expecting or I completely forgotten about. And it's like, wow, I recognize that. I recognize that.
And for me, Sandy, that was special because, like, I hadn't heard that freaking Disneyland thing since 2009 because that was the last time I went to the park when the Disneyland Railroad was actually operational.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it's been down for a good year and a half, which is when I started going to Disneyland again. I took, like, about a 5-year hiatus after graduating high school.
Wow.
So, or longer than that, I think. Like, we're like 7 years. But, anyways, so Sandy, we're walking down Main Street. We're just taking everything in, you know, like, we're like, oh, there's Kimberly.
And we had to stop in front of Walt's apartment to check in and see if he got the light on up there.
Naturally.
Nice.
And then we get to the Adventureland Bridge, and we get to Indiana Jones, Sandy. Oh boy. So Sandy, we're literally like one of the first Jeeps departed. Like I would say maybe we're like Jeep number 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were up there for sure.
And so we go through the whole ride. The effects are working perfectly. I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, Sandy, you got to see the projection mapping effects on Mara, which are relatively new. And then we get to the boulder, Sandy, and this happens.
That right there.
And this was a treat, folks. This was a treat.
What happened?
Oh, man.
So everything's going fine, as Tiki said, but then we get.
It was a great ride. Like, legitimately, the effects were all, like, up 100%, you know? Nothing was down at all.
But then we get to this section here, and so I've never been on this ride before, so I thought this was a whole, part of the experience, stopping here.
Oh no! I mean, and you got to see how the effect usually goes when we went around it the second time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew the lights weren't supposed to come on, and you weren't supposed to see backstage, of course, but
of course, right?
When that happened, I knew, something awesome is about to happen. I was. You
see, I think that's one of the things that differentiates like normal Disney fans from like diehard Disney fans is like when the lights come on in an emergency situation, like normal people are like, "Oh man," and diehard Disney fans are like, "Oh, this is it, it's happening."
Except when it happens. Except when you get stuck in the haunted mansion like I did and nothing happens.
That's still pretty cool, though. I mean,
to be fair, Jacob, even being stuck in the haunted mansion would be cool for me. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but except I got stuck in the part. Except I got in this part stuck in the part where they're seeing Grim getting ghosts over and over.
Oh, yeah, that could get repetitive. But still,
there's so many things to look at in that room, though.
Exactly.
I mean, it did, but I was like in there for like a good 5 minutes or more.
Yeah, I wouldn't be complaining, but that's just me.
It wasn't horrible, but. It happened like twice. I mean, I got stuck on that ride twice.
Well, I think we were stuck in this part of the ride for probably like 10 minutes, right?
I want to say 10 minutes. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Dang.
And
I thought for sure we were going to have to be evacuated.
Yeah, and I'm still not sure how that would have worked because it was a pretty big jump from the Jeep to the ground.
Honestly, I think that's probably the only reason why they didn't evacuate us was because of the position we were on.
Yeah, plus they had that steep hill there at the bottom, which you get really hurt on falling down.
So what ended up happening was our Jeep actually like went really slowly down that steep incline. And that was a really freaky experience, I gotta say, Sandy. Like going under that boulder like super slowly. And so, Sandy, we go around, we see Andy with the broken boulder, and then we hear the magic words. We hear the magic words from the great gracious cast member. What does he say?
Hey, would you guys like to go again? Yes.
Now, to be fair, there was one father that got off with a kid. I assume the kid was scared. All the power to him in the world. Totally respect that. But for the rest of us, yes! Oh, so Sandy, I mean, that just made it, right?
Oh yeah, that totally, that was the
Like the
perfect way to
fact that
start
we
the day.
not only got to like see the boulder effect, like all broken down and everything, we got basically like 95% of a full ride the first time around. And now we were going to get to go around again, all the effects working. Sandy, you got to see another variation of the Mara chamber. I believe the first time you saw the Visions of the Future, and then the second time you saw the Fountain of Youth, Sandy. Does that sound right?
I can't remember, but yeah, it was a different one. It was a different one.
Yeah, it was a different one. I know that much. So exciting. Such an exciting way to start the day.
Yeah, the entire time we're sitting in front of this boulder, Indy is above us, like right directly above us, and you can hear all the air rushing through his legs and arms.
And everyone in the Jeep was like, "You can do it, Indy. Hold on. We believe in you."
And I was nitpicking about how his boots weren't screen accurate.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
And his pants were like some kind of polyester plastic.
Oh my god.
Like, that's not 100% accurate, damn it. We should have Harrison Ford in here.
Yeah, the animatronics really don't look like Harrison Ford all that much.
That's because they're not Harrison Ford, because Harrison Ford didn't sign off on his likeness. Fun fact.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I wonder why. That seems, I don't know. It's Harrison Ford. He has his gripes.
All right, Sandy, you want to go back to our or no, wait, okay. We're next is Splash Mountain. Let's talk about Splash Mountain.
I think next was Haunted Mansion, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. We did go to Haunted Mansion. Yeah, that's true. Now Haunted Mansion, we just kind of like it was like we've heard horror stories about the line for Holiday, so we just hit it like during the rope drop as a walk on, and I'm glad we did. I mean, this is the one time we got to do it. Sandy, you got to do it your second time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the queue area here.
Spoilers. Whoa, you showed the biggest spoiler of all, Sandy. Hold on now.
Oh, well. You're going to see it anyways. Crap, I can't find it. I feel stupid now.
It's okay. Just go to the photo. Or just
there
just
we
go
go.
to the loading area.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Haunted Mansion.
I mean, look, I've never been a big fan of Holiday. I'm kind of infamous for that. Like, I don't think it clashes well with the mansion at all. I think the colorful aesthetic and the bright colors of Nightmare don't really clash well with the dark undertones of Mansion. Sandy, how did you feel about Holiday?
I was just happy because, Holiday is, it's once a year, and, next time I go back, I'll make sure to go during a time where, obviously where Holiday is not up and running, which, of course, there is that rumor that Haunted Mansion Holiday will not be.
I still don't believe that rumor because you got it off of a bus driver.
No, I was sitting next to this guy on the bus, and he told me that.
Okay, I think that guy on the bus was friends with the guy from Knott's Berry Farm who said that Ghost Rider would be down for the rest of the day.
You mean that kid that?
Yes. We'll get to that.
Well,
little teaser for part 2, folks.
keep in mind that he had a perfectly logical explanation for why that would be the case. Haunted Mansion Holiday. I mean, Star Wars Land is coming next year, and
no, Star Wars Land is coming 2019, man, not next year.
Oh, okay, all right.
See, there's holes in this logic.
Oh yeah, there is holes in this logic after all. Okay. Anyways, yeah, the queue was I think the queue is fine. I like the big scarecrow there, and the music is nice. But overall, you hit the nail right on the head.
I think Haunted Mansion Holiday is a good ride bordering on great, but Haunted Mansion is a straight up masterpiece.
Oh yeah, it's
like that's kind of the different. Like Haunted Mansion Holiday is like, yeah, it's a great ride, it's a good experience. You know what I mean? It's solid all the way around. But the original Haunted Mansion is a masterpiece, and you can't eclipse a masterpiece.
Exactly. Plus, again, like you said, Tim Burton has his own thing, and Haunted Mansion has its own thing, and they don't mix all too well. But hey, people like it, and it's been around for a long time now, so it's obviously serving Disney well. I didn't mind it. It was nice seeing the Jack and Sally animatronics.
It was nice. It was nice getting on a walk on. You know what I mean? Just cracking it out.
Exactly.
Okay, so Splash.
Welcome,
Splash. Yeah, let's find those.
How do you do?
I like how you're blocking his face.
I know. That's not the only time that happened.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a reoccurring thing with these pictures. Because I always know where the cameras are, so I'm doing like gestures and stuff. Oh god. Here I was kind of trying to do like the Ozzy Osbourne devil horns.
It's like you can barely even see Sandy's face in that.
Right. Okay, I mean, I don't have a ton to say about Splash Mountain. I think it's a really solid ride. Honestly, Sandy, if we were to compare the two main log flume rides we went on during the trip, this and Timber Mountain at Knott's, I would give the edge to Timber Mountain.
I think it's hard because I love Splash Mountain so much, but Timber Mountain has
I love Splash Mountain. I just think Splash Mountain is it's in need of an upgrade, man, because a lot of the animatronics aren't working at 100%. And whereas with Timber Mountain, the animatronics are like new and just they look so good, and everything about Timber Mountain, from the from the new animatronics to the Halloween overlay they did. Of course, we'll talk about the nighttime version of the overlay, which was fantastic.
Hold on. New animatronics in Timber Mountain. What in the world are you talking about?
I'm talking about, like, have you, like, all the animatronics, like all the miners and whatnot.
Those are new?
Yeah.
How new?
They like 2014 new?
All those guys in the first...
Every animatronic in that ride was replaced, Sandy.
That can't be, because I got a very good look at the bear in the big camp scene, and he was missing chunks of his face.
You mean the trick-or-treat bear?
Yes.
All right. Well, look, let's put a pin on that. We'll go back to that in part 2.
Like his face was peeled back, you could see like the plastic robotics.
All right. Well, still, I mean, Splash Mountain's great too. It's like, I don't know. I think Timber Mountain's a little more fresh for me. Like, I haven't been on Timber Mountain as much as I've been on Splash Mountain. So, going on Splash Mountain, it's like, yeah, it's Splash Mountain again.
I think Splash Mountain is better just because, there's more going on. There's more to see. There's more to experience. Timber Mountain is kind of just like a big mess of different things. It was nice, but again, it's like a big mess of like aliens and bears and aliens playing banjos now.
Trick or treat.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm coming to haunt your dreams, Sandy.
That's my favorite
scene. Don't like my trick or treat bear?
That camp scene was my favorite in that entire ride.
Now, when I went to Disney World, went on my trip by myself this year, Splash Mountain was unfortunately the only mountain I didn't get on because it was late and started to rain.
No,
I didn't have anything else planned. It was getting later in the day, and I wanted to kill some time before like the fireworks show and all that. And then it started to rain, and then I couldn't get on Splash Mountain.
We actually wanted to rewrite it later on at night, but it was broken down.
But
yeah, that's right.
I actually did write it, but I actually did write it many years ago when I went there. So technically, and I've never even been west of Indianapolis, so I can't say I've been to Knott's Berry Farm.
Tiki, when did they put Splash Mountain in Disney World?
I want to say like right around the same time as Disneyland, like 1989.
Okay, so those animatronics have got to be just as bad.
Yeah.
I wish I could report
the animatronics on Splash Mountain, like there is a quantity of them, but the quantity does not make up for quality.
Exactly, and what I love is how you get so close to these the characters. That
I mean, that is true. You do get super close to the animatronics on that
and it's
ride.
like and they're all around you, and I don't know. It makes me feel like it gives me this creepy claustrophobic.
That probably
feeling.
Probably makes it easier just to see their deterioration.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
All right, Sandy, do you have any pictures of pirates?
I do, yes.
I saw like a picture of the cube going through.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, Jim Henson.
Yep. There's a bunch of stuff in here.
Jolly Holiday with
There we go.
Pirates. All right, not much to say, Sandy. It was great to see the redhead scene a couple more times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was pretty much my highlight, honestly, with pirates.
Yeah, and the first time around, it was basically just like Haunted Mansion, where it was almost a walk on, but like 5-minute wait.
Yeah, it was barely a wait. Yeah. Oh God. Okay, Sandy, I'll just talk about this now because like the first time we went on Pirates, perfect, absolutely perfect, loved it. Not a care in the world. Second time we went on Pirates, Sandy, I encountered a problem. You didn't hear these guys, but this was like more towards the night.
I definitely noticed them. I noticed them.
You noticed them? Okay. They were not only like they couldn't care less about the actual ride, which like bugged the crap out of me because it's like, why are you even going on this ride if you're not even gonna freaking pay attention to it? But also, I don't know, look, like I'm a man who like, yeah, I'll swear at a Disney park, but I'll do it under my breath. You know what I mean? Like I'll lower my voice and I'll make sure there's no kids around. Like this guy was like going on about like, and I'll just do an impression, folks. Like this guy was like, he was talking about like some prank that they pulled on him or something, and he was just like, "Oh, they scared the fucking shit out of me, bro. You scared the fucking shit out of me." And I'm like, dude, if you're gonna be like swearing that loud at a Disney park, like I don't know. Sandy, where was that belligerent lady from Timber Mountain when like that would have been a time for her to actually act on it? You know what I mean? Yeah. She should have been working pirates that night.
Oh yeah. I didn't notice them nearly as much. That was at a point in the ride where it was slowing down. That was right like directly under the not directly under, but near the scene where the pirates are shooting at the big barrels full of guns.
Yeah, it was near that scene, yeah.
I started to fall asleep.
Meanwhile, I was just like, look, I don't care if these people are not engaged with the ride, but do not like actively make it a less enjoyable experience for other people.
Yeah,
it's one thing if you just like bury your face in a smartphone or something, like, yeah, that sucks for you, but at least you're not bothering other people for the most part.
And it's also different if you're going on about how much you love the ride and Disney.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're inconsiderate. I mean, inconsiderate people are gonna find them everywhere.
Oh, but Sandy, let's again. There's so many pins for part 2 we have to put in, but there was a far worse group that we had to deal with when we wrote Calico during Scary Farm.
Oh yeah.
So let's put a pin in that for part 2.
All right.
Well, man, that was a testament of endurance for both of us, I'm sure.
What ride was after Pirates?
Yeah, that's it for Pirates. Let's see. You want to talk about Small World briefly, or Mr. Toad, I guess?
Yeah, I know I have some Mr. Toad up here.
Yeah, I saw Mr. Toad.
There we go.
I mean, Mr. Toad, like, this is an enigma of a ride, right? Like, it's weird to think that it even still exists. Like, it's mostly all cardboard cutouts. It literally ends in, like, a weird, like, Coney Island depiction of hell.
Yeah. Sorry. Just trying to find a better picture here.
Well, you have a video of the judge, right?
Yes.
Mr. Toad.
Yeah, show that guy. Guilty! Very sure.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's not it. Oh, well. Keep talking. I'll find it.
I love the loading area, though. I love how the loading area, like you go into the room and then you crash out and go back into the loading area.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is this video of the whole ride? Oh, there we go. Guilty. And then, yeah, you go to hell. I mean, it's hell. It's literally
that
hell.
would be the only time in a Disney park where it would be appropriate to go to hell.
Like, like that's hell, all right.
Looks like it. I mean, jeez.
Yep. All right, so then we went to Small World.
I don't think I have any pictures of that.
That's okay. Just briefly, Sandy, I love Small World. I love the exterior. Remember we had that really awesome cast member at the loading dock?
Oh, that was great. That was awesome.
Like, he just seemed like super into his job. He was super friendly, super well spoken for.
Oh, yeah.
And I even, like, complimented him on my way out. I was like, you're doing a great job, man. Probably seemed like I was on drugs, but whatever.
Yeah, big crowds. You know, it's always nice when you have someone.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like he was just like, he was treating every boat full of passengers like they were special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I really appreciated that. Okay, so let's get to Toontown, Sandy, because I know you have a barrage of pictures in Toontown.
Yes.
And I just wish this ride was still at Disney World.
Yeah, unfortunately, Pooh took it over.
I didn't even get to see that ride.
Which one?
What do you mean?
Pooh took over what ride? Oh, Mr. Toad. Okay.
Yes.
They also removed Toontown, didn't they? That sucks. That really sucks.
Ariel took over Toontown.
Wait, what?
Ariel, Little Mermaid.
Oh, I did not know that. I had forgotten about that. That doesn't make me too happy at all.
I mean, her and like a couple Beauty and the Beast restaurants.
That doesn't make me too happy. Because The Little Mermaid is not my favorite ride. No, I'm not going to talk about it. That's for a different time. Toontown.
Yes, so Sandy, you finally got to experience the Roger Rabbit queue.
Yes. Let's see. I have a picture of that right here.
How good is it, Sandy?
It's beautiful. It's absolutely
it's so immersive. I love it so much. I love how closely it ties to the actual ride.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's one big attraction. Everything. And then, of course, how Roger Rabbit ties in with all of Toontown. You know, I walked into Mickey's house on my second day, and on the radio it said, you know, the weasels are taking over Toontown with their dip and everything. Wow, you know, even here in Mickey's house,
right.
we still get Roger Rabbit.
It's nice to see that they're actually still supporting that, or in referencing it.
And Toontown is definitely one of the things on the cutting room floor, so I'm very worried for the fate of Roger Rabbit. I'm praying for it.
Yeah. If they get rid of Toontown,
I mean, it's such a unique ride. I think there's a version of it at Tokyo Disneyland, but like for what it is, it's like it's such a great mix of like, you know, an immersive like Indiana Jones style queue. I would say the queue is even better than Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I think so too.
Especially with how closely it connects with the actual ride and how many views of the ride you get from the queue.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
How many little interactive elements there are,
plus,
characters and stuff.
I just love the whole Toontown architecture a lot more than the Indiana Jones temple architecture. It's so much more interactive and fun to look at, colorful.
I mean, Indy's great, and Indy definitely takes you on an adventure just walking through that thing, but...
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Anything else about Roger Rabbit?
I thought whether you're spinning or you're not spinning, it's a wonderful ride. I thought it was a ton.
Well, we were spinning the whole time. So.
Yeah, I didn't spin on my second time.
Okay.
In fact, I guess I should talk about this later on. Yeah, I'll talk about this later on. But just 10 out of 10, perfect ride.
All right, so let's talk about trying to find Goofy and the ridiculousness that was.
Yeah.
And you guys You guys need to tell me that story about Pennywise.
Yeah, Sandy, you want to tell it?
All right. So it's our big goofy extravaganza at Disneyland here. We walk into Toontown, and I believe Goofy was one of the first things we saw that caught our attention. Of course, he was the only character that was out. I think Minnie was over by her house.
And it was perfect because, of course, you and I, like, we've been on a big Goofy movie kick for, like, the last year or so.
Yeah, we both love Goofy. He's
he's
amazing.
We all love Goofy here.
Yeah.
We're all, to paraphrase Mad Hatter, we're all Goofy here. But, well, technically Cheshire Cat, but still.
Come join us, Georgie. We all float down here.
Oh, yeah.
So Goofy had basically no wait line. He was just standing there waving.
Yeah, he was just there with like a couple people waiting to take pictures with him.
So we thought, okay, let's go get in line to meet Goofy. And we practically get up to where Goofy is. And we're about to, meet Goofy and take a picture with him. But the cast member says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Goofy has to go check on Max." It's like, why do you need to check on... Anyways,
like seriously, if anything, the canon that is put forth in like this whole like workaround for the cast member taking breaks just implies that Max is just a piece of crap troublemaker.
Damn it, Max.
Like, what is Max doing? Like, does Goofy need to check on Max doing crystal meth every 15 minutes or what?
Breaking Goof.
So,
sorry.
So Goofy has to walk off for,
So she said it'd be like about a half hour, right? So the wait for Roger Rabbit is literally like 10 minutes. So we go through it. We couldn't have been off of Roger Rabbit in more than like 20 minutes, right? And we figured we'd have to like wait around for about 20 minutes for Goofy. But no, Goofy's out there already. So what happened, Sandy?
So we walk up to Goofy for the second time now.
And keep in mind, this is like before the cast member even said that he'd be back.
Yeah. Although I think the queue for Roger Rabbit took longer than expected.
I timed it out, though, and we were out there in less than a half an hour.
All right.
Like, I want to say Roger Rabbit maybe took 20 minutes, like, including the queue and the ride.
Okay. Well, yeah, Goofy was out there nonetheless. Ahead of schedule, it seems like. And we walk up to meet Goofy for the second time. And the cast member says, again, Goofy has to walk off. He has to check on Max. He'll be back in 15 minutes.
Jeez.
Hey, Max.
Okay, so at that point, we're like, all right, you know what? Let's go to Goofy's house. Let's check on Max ourselves. Let's see what's up. Not literally, you know what I mean? But we're like, okay, let's kill some time. Let's literally, like, Sandy, do you have any pictures of Goofy's house?
Yes, I do. And Max was definitely proving himself to be a little pissant.
Oh, man. I'm like Goofy. Max is at the Carnation Cafe. He's fine. He's doing character breakfast.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
He's eating pancakes.
Goofy
Okay,
can't.
so this is literally like right next to where the Goofy meet and greet is. So Sandy and I go over there for like maybe like 5 minutes, right, Sandy? Like we go in, we take some pictures. We're like, oh, remember when this used to be a bounce house? It's kind of weird that it's not a bounce house.
Yeah, I've always loved Goofy's house. I had to go inside just for nostalgic purposes. So that was nice. And of course we had to kill time.
But this was literally just a time killer. This was literally just like, okay, Goofy's going to be back in 15 minutes. Let's take 5 minutes to go over here.
Exactly.
And so then we go back, and Goofy's already back in like 5 minutes when they said it'd take 15 minutes.
He's back there. All right. And we go up to meet him for the third time now, and he has a lot longer of a line now. So we get in line. And the lady says, almost as soon as we get in line, sorry, Goofy has to go check on Max.
And then she said that he wasn't even going to be back in that location, that he was just going to be like walking around Toontown.
Jeez.
At that point, I'm like, screw it. This is not worth it.
It
This
really
is
wasn't.
ridiculous.
Because at that point we were just wasting time that we could.
All right, Sandy, but then,
Taking
so this is
Man,
kind of
dude.
jumping ahead to the next day, but I think it really fits with this story. Sandy, what tops this story off? What is like the perfect like cherry on top of this Goofy story?
Okay,
Man,
so we're at.
Goofy needs to get his crap together.
Yeah, he does. He get his schedule.
It
lined
was
up a little bit better.
ridiculous. It really was.
And it's like the cast member too. Like, lady, have you not seen? We've been here twice, and you've,
Like, all we want is a picture with Goofy. Like, you're wearing a vintage Mad Hatter hat. Clearly, you're into the characters.
yeah. And it's like, anyways,
Like,
we're
we're not just teenagers trying to goof off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so we're in downtown Disney the next day.
No, we're at the Disneyland Hotel. Like, I take you to Trader Sam's. We'll talk about that in the next podcast.
Yeah.
And so we're walking out of Trader Sam's, and we're walking by the Disneyland Hotel pool. And on the bridge, Sandy, on the bridge, we see
Him. We see him, and he's waving at us. He's like waving in our direction, like waving his arms, not subtly. He's like bouncing up and down.
Goofy?
Yeah, he's not.
I am not making this up.
He is with nobody. There's not
Yeah, that
one
was the
person with
creepy
him.
part for me. That was absolutely the creepy part, was that there was no cast member with him.
There was
That
no
was,
guest.
like,
no
alarming.
one. And it's like he's just out here by himself, literally. Just, like,
And I
waving.
swear to God, I felt like I was being followed by like Pennywise Goofy.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
what it seemed like, because we turned around for I don't know, a minute or two. We turned back around, and he's gone. He just vanished.
But wasn't he there again? Didn't he like appear again?
Yeah, then he appeared again sometime later,
Oh,
and he was with some guests.
Did you guys eventually get a picture with him, though?
No,
No,
because he
he
was
was
out of reach. Like, we couldn't reach him because only Disneyland Resort guests can reach Goofy.
He was
Can go into the pool, I mean.
Yeah, in the pool area. He was in the pool area, and we can't go in there because we're not guests.
Oh, that sucks. But
I mean, it was just like, it was literally like the same Goofy. Like the classic, like, like the brown overalls, the green hat. Like, it was the same. I mean, it probably wasn't the same actor, but it was definitely like the same design of costume.
It was the same costume, yeah. And then, of course, we see him later in DCA wearing his ghost costume, and he's signing autographs.
Well, that was probably a different person altogether. But
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course. But it's like we keep seeing him, and he's.
I'm
Always
just like, Goofy, what are you doing to us? Okay, so after that debacle with Goofy, we go to the Disneyland Railroad to meet up with Mandy and Wreath. And what do you think of the Disneyland Railroad?
Oh boy! Well, we got a little bit of a view of the whole. I don't know.
The new Frontierland.
Yeah, the new Frontierland, the whole setup they had.
It
was
looks so gorgeous.
We got
I
that
wish
view
I
over
had
by.
more time to spend in that area. Like, I wish I would have been able to go on to Tom Sawyer Island and really soak it in.
Yeah. I should have done that on my second day, but for some reason that didn't even cross my mind. Anyways, a little bit of a view of that from Splash Mountain by the bathrooms. But then we got on the Disneyland Railroad, and of course, we get this magnificent view of all these beautiful animatronics and scenes, and it's out of this world because it immerses you in this whole new environment, and it's just beautiful.
unfortunately, there's no railroad where I went. They have a monorail. There's a monorail, but I didn't find any railroad.
I mean, I know there is a Walt Disney World Railroad at Magic Kingdom. I don't know, like, if it was working when you were there.
I never saw anything for it.
I mean, there's literally a train station right at the front of Main Street at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, but there wasn't any train operating.
I'd have been down for refurbishment.
Probably. It didn't really say.
The one thing,
speaking of things being down for refurbishment, Big Thunder Mountain was down for refurbishment.
yeah, that was a letdown, but you know.
Oh, I actually did go on that. You guys remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of comparable to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, actually.
What's that?
It's actually kind of comparable to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Oh, really? It's only Disney World, right? Yeah, it's only Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was a pretty neat ride too. Kind of like a whole mountain in a mining thing.
Yeah. All right.
I'm looking forward to going on that when I go. Yeah.
The only thing that bummed me out about the Disneyland Railroad was the narrator. He didn't have as much character as.
Yeah, I'll agree, and that's something other people have felt as well. I did really like the musical transitions as you pulled in from station to station, though.
Yeah. They rearranged the Toontown train depot, which I was kind of upset about that, because I kept. One thing I've always noticed is that back when I went there, back in like 2007, 2008, is that Minnie always had this big polka dot suitcase sitting right there, and so that's always a signature piece because it's, you know, I remember it so well, and so I kept looking for it, but I never saw it. It's come on. That's a little thing, but you know.
Right.
The primeval world and the Grand Canyon dioramas were stunning. They are beautiful. The Grand Canyon with the lightning and the clouds and the thunder and the rain. Wow.
Yeah, I think the Grand Canyon to me like impresses me even more than Primeval World does.
In a sense, yeah.
Because like you have that huge hand-painted mural that stretches like the whole room.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so impressive. It amazes me how they did that. Back in that time. It's just wow. And the Primeval World, I think the Primeval World is going to always be my favorite, just because of all the wonderful animatronics, the dated animatronics.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They are a little bit dated.
That's what I love about them, though. I mean, just think that was the same. You know, that was the same T-Rex. At the end, that was, you know, on the flatbed headed to Disneyland that people always talk about.
Right. Okay, so after doing the Disneyland Railroad, we did Mr. Lincoln. Sandy, I don't know about you.
Hold up. Do you know if they updated any of those the dinosaur animatronics and that?
No, they didn't update the animatronics. They had some new lighting in there, though.
Okay. Do you know if they repainted any of them? Because I saw.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's it.
All right. You got any pictures of the? I know the Jim Henson thing is from the Mr. Lincoln lobby. So if you want to pull that up.
Okay. Let's see if I can find that here. There we go.
All right. So, yeah, this is from the exit lobby of Mr. Lincoln, but it's the closest thing Sandy has to a photo, so we'll go with it.
I'll say it. Is also that picture of George Lucas?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and Lucille Ball.
And Steven Spielberg is with E.T. off to the side, I believe.
Is he? Nice.
I think. Well, maybe not. Because E.T. is not. I don't know if they'd be able to put that up there. I know I saw Steven Spielberg. Anyways, go on.
Well, it's even the Vita Vita Vegemin episode.
Okay, so I don't know about you, Sandy, but Mr. Lincoln to me is just a freaking treasure of an attraction.
Yeah, it was great. I'm really glad I did it. The room was almost empty. Like that was a great.
That's what I love about it. I mean, I don't like that it plays to empty crowds. Like, it makes me worry for the future of it. But especially like, so it's funny. Like, I insisted we sat in the front row, and at first you guys weren't really up for that. But I was like, no, trust me. And sitting in the front row, you get so close to the Lincoln animatronic.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the whole way that show's staged. Like, of course, you have the the opening narration with Paul Frees, and he's you know, just, and you have the Two Brothers song, and then but then of course the big showstopper is the Mr. Lincoln animatronic himself with that, you know, the 5-minute speech. And then I love how as it kind of goes to a crescendo, like, you know, the walls open up around him and you see the starry sky backdrop, and it's just, man, it's just inspirational, man. Like in a time when our country is facing some serious questionable things, Mr. Lincoln is just a good sort of memory of old-fashioned like Americana and patriotism. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Wasn't that also like the very first audio animatronic?
Mr. Lincoln, I think, no, not really, no. I mean, the Tiki Room was the first like audio animatronics, and then like human-wise, I want to say the Carousel of Progress characters came a little bit before Mr. Lincoln. But Mr. Lincoln was definitely the first of its kind in terms of like how advanced he was.
That must be what it meant then.
Yeah.
All I know is that Disney basically created them, or at least perfected them.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Lincoln was kind of like the perfection of like the humanistic animatronics that Disney would later use on stuff like Pirates and Great Movie Ride and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
All right. So after that, Sandy, we met up with Monkey, and we went to your favorite. We braved the 40-minute queue for Alice.
Can I just say one more thing about Mr. Lincoln that I think
Sure.
This ties in a little bit more? My second day, I was going to go on Mr. Lincoln again, and guess who I run into, of all people?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Standing out in the front. That was, I couldn't believe it. I look over.
You run into?
I look over, and Maynard is right there. He's just standing there.
And
all by
Maynard
himself.
is like a freaking legend, because I've had encounters with Maynard. I encountered Maynard last night. I have a picture with him.
Wait, you encountered Maynard last night? What do you mean?
Oh, wait, did I say last March? Wow, sorry.
Okay, last March.
Last March. Wow, not last night. No. Yeah, I just randomly encountered Maynard last night.
He was at the 7-Eleven.
Right.
Getting a Mountain Dew. So I run into Maynard. He's standing there by himself, you know, just smiling, waiting for people to come in. He's wearing this awesome, nice suit, themed with Mr. Lincoln ride, and it's wow. And he was so enthusiastic. He was so full of energy and enthusiasm. It was an experience. I think I have a picture of that somewhere. It's not up here, but anyways, what's next? Went to meet with Monkey, and then from there we went to Alice, right?
Yeah, we went to Alice, yeah.
Okay.
So after the 30-minute line, Sandy, how do you feel about Alice? Because of course this was, for my money, this was probably the thing you were most hyped up about from what I saw.
Yeah. Let me find a better picture here. Nope. Yeah, I couldn't wait to get back on Alice, because Alice has been one of my favorite all-time favorite rides throughout the years. I would watch, you know, video upon video of these point of view shots of the ride online. It's just being in that attraction again. It's just, oh, there we go. It's such a different experience. You know, you're intimate with all these different animatronics. They're so close, and you know they're right there, and you know you could literally reach out and touch the doorknob if you wanted to. Of course, that's not recommended. I didn't do that, but it's wow. I think I did. I touched like the wall or something.
Oh yeah, I remember you were doing that, and it kind of freaked me out. I was like, dude, the freaking cast members are gonna yell at you, dude. What are you doing?
It's like the whole ride stops because of me.
I mean, honestly, that could have legitimately happened, man.
I think I did touch the wall right next to the doorknob.
Like, I know you definitely touched the wall of the rabbit hole, which is understandable because it's so narrow.
Yeah.
I think I might have actually touched the doorknob.
Really?
Yeah, because you were a freaking bad influence on me, man.
Next time I go back, I'm going to make a point to touch as many things as I can. just low key, you know,
No.
under the radar. But yeah, the wait for Alice, no matter what it is, it's always worth it for me. Just it's not you know the most high tech of rides, but it's just I've always loved that movie, and the ride is just it's an experience for me. It's an experience.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
All right.
It's really amazing to think that those are the same caterpillars that
I know, it's
were operating
crazy.
back in the 50s.
Okay, so after that, I believe we park hopped, right? We went over to California Adventure.
Yeah, it was sometime after that.
I believe it was right after Alice. Sounds about right.
Let's see if I have any pictures of that pulled up here. Here we go. Oh yeah, there we go. The four of us on.
Well, the first, but first of all, of course, the first thing we did was Mission Breakout.
Yeah,
Naturally.
Oh, yeah. I'm so jealous about that.
Wow, I didn't know what to expect. I knew there was some kind of Figment cameo, but that was about it. Wow, it blew my mind. It made me want to go watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I did on the way home on the plane. But, you know, people are probably thinking, what? It made you want to go watch the movie? What are you talking about?
I mean, for me, I enjoyed the queue a lot better than the actual ride, and I enjoyed Monsters After Dark as a ride more than I enjoyed Mission Breakout. That's all very subjective. Mission Breakout is a lot of fun. I don't think it has the cohesion of the Tower of Terror. Like, Tower of Terror has a very distinct storyline, a very distinct sequence of events. Mission Breakout is more just like, look at the crazy stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah, I feel you. I really wish I would have gotten a chance to ride Tower of Terror, even if it meant I didn't get to ride Mission Breakout.
I wish. Hopefully, something like that comes our way, not the expense of Tower of Terror, though.
Well, Walt Disney World is supposed to be getting a Guardians ride, right, Tiki?
Yes, Epcot is getting a Guardians coaster, and it's not going to be a Mission Breakout clone.
Apparently, it's replacing Energy Adventure.
And part of the plot is actually that Star-Lord has nostalgic memories of Epcot from the 80s.
Great.
Which, honestly, I love that as a plot, and I've been calling this since they announced it, but I'm really, like... I really hope that Horizons works its way into the plot of this ride somehow in a big way. Because Horizons, of course, is like the beloved Epcot attraction that closed for an attraction that literally killed like 3 people.
Ugh.
Yeah, Mission Space is like the biggest flop of a Disney attraction, and it killed like a beloved classic. So, anyways,
this might be a total miss, but I do hope we get a bigger Figment cameo, this being Epcot and all.
Right. I mean, like I said, the queue for Mission Breakout is spectacular. Like, all the way around, I freaking love the queue. Even the outside of it, like, the details on the building. Like, I love the paw prints everywhere and, like, the broken wiring and everything.
Yeah, and my favorite was Harold, of course.
Yeah, and Cosmo. Gotta love Cosmo.
Yeah, it was so close. It was so nice being
like so many Easter eggs. Like, I love the queue. The queue is so immersive.
It really is. And you have all the sounds in the boiler room, and of course, you know, not to mention Rocket grabbing the Walkman. That was impressive.
Yes.
Just the animatronic in general was. The whole scene was great.
And of course, we also saw the gift shop, which was great. I bought Howard the Duck. I still have the Howard the Duck plushie.
Great.
That was a fine purchase for me.
Are you gonna hang him from the ceiling?
No, I'm not hanging him. No.
No, I mean the box, like he's in one of the.
Oh, that's a good idea. Actually, I might do that.
No, not hang Howard himself. No.
I mean, I was thinking more like the Hanging at Not Scary Farm.
Oh no, nothing like that.
I was like, no, why would I? I love Howard.
Yeah, Mission Breakout, 10 out of 10.
I would give Mission Breakout about an 8.5 out of 10.
I guess you're right. I give for the actual ride for the queue. The queue I'd give a 10 out of 10.
The queue I would give a 10 out of 10. The queue is like, besides Roger Rabbit, the queue might even be better than Indy.
Oh, I think so. I definitely prefer Roger Rabbit and Mission Breakout over Indy.
Yeah. Okay, so after that, Sandy, you experienced Cars Land for the first time.
Yeah, and I do not have any pictures of that
Oh, man.
available. I probably do, just not available in this slideshow here.
Well, why don't you just hold on a picture of you and me then?
All right. How about that one?
That works. That works.
Okay.
All right, so Cars Land, Sandy. Of course, I made a point to show you not the. I did not show you the. Like most people in Cars Land go through the front entrance, which is like down the main street. And we were literally walking past the main street, and I was like, "Don't look at it, Sandy. Don't look at it. Pretend it's not there." Look at the vineyards, Sandy. Look at the vineyards. Did that work, Sandy? Did you not get any glimpse of it?
I didn't know.
Nice. So we went through the Pacific Wharf area, and Sandy, I mean, I got to tell you, right? Like going through this Pacific Wharf area, like under that big rock archway, it's incredible, right? Like walking through it, it's just an incredible transition.
Yeah, it's like a whole new world. No pun intended. It's just beautiful.
It literally feels like you're in the middle of like a desert highway.
Exactly. And I love how like the depth in the rocks, it makes it seem like they're way out in the distance. Then you see the back of it, you're walking up.
I know, right? Like as you're like walking home at night, you see the back of Cars Land, you're like, oh, that's what we were so impressed by.
You definitely know how to use
during the day, it's like it has such an impact.
Exactly.
They definitely know how to use forced perspective.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
I think Cars Land is probably like the definitive use of forced perspective for me.
Really, it might just be because I'm really tall. I'm not a little kid who's dazzled by forced perspective as much as a little kid is. But the Disneyland Castle just doesn't do anything really.
You're not the only one who feels that way. The Disneyland Castle is it's charming.
It's charming.
You know what, Sandy? The thing about the castle for me that I just got tickled by was the fact that it was just classic pink and blue. Because the last couple times I went, it was decked out like in March of 2016 when I went, it was decked out in the gaudy like diamond celebration castle, which was pretty, but it wasn't classic. And then when I went in December, it was like the Christmas castle. So it was so like, yes, it's not a visually very impressive castle, but it's a super charming castle. And I love the classic pink and blue, and just seeing the classic pink and blue, I'm like, that's vintage Disneyland right there.
Exactly.
So,
anyways, Cars Land, the first ride we went on,
and the only ride we went on in Cars Land, to be fair.
Well, yeah. What was that? What do they call that?
Radiator Springs Racers.
Yes, that's what it is. That was a great ride. That was.
Of course, we did single rider, which still took a good half hour or so, but like, the standby was like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So.
Oh gosh. But I think it was worth the wait. I had a good time. I loved the animatronics. The animatronics, like, it looked like they came right out of the actual movie. And
the animation on them is what always gets me.
In a good way or a bad way?
Like in a good way, like how Mater looks like he's sneaking around a bush.
Yeah, and of course, the eyes, the projected eyes that usually projected stuff would bug me, but with that, it works really well. And the animation, like you said, is, and of course, because they're cars, they're really simple to maneuver and everything, but it looks really nice.
Now, when you got, did you get the Ramon room or the Luigi room?
The what or the what? The I don't.
Okay, like after Radiator Springs, like after you go through the main street of Radiator Springs on that ride,
Yeah.
it splits up into two rooms. Like on the left, I believe, is Luigi's, and on the right is Ramon.
I think what's Ramon? What is that?
Ramon, you get your car repainted, and then in Luigi's, you get your tires changed.
Oh yeah, we definitely got the tires changed. Yes.
Okay, okay. I actually went through Ramon. And I've done Luigi a lot more when I've been on it. So Ramon's actually a lot cooler because you see a mirror of your, like you see your car in a mirror, right? And then like through a projection effect, your car actually gets repainted.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And then Luigi's, like they do like a little effect, right? Where it feels like your car's being like raised up.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, I love how that ride is a coaster. Well, not a coaster, but
it's not a coaster, but it definitely has that nice thrilling climax to it.
Yeah, and it's also a dark ride, which you know.
And unlike Test Track, it's actually like a race.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've never experienced it where it hasn't raced. Like it's very reliable when it comes to timing those races. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that was a nice ride. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right, then we went over to Paradise Pier and got into California Screamin', which was literally like a walk-on.
Yeah, there was
nobody.
That's cool.
So I was watching Sandy's face the whole time. Of course, I'm a veteran of this coaster. I know every twist and turn. Sandy's never been on it. And Sandy, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is like one of your first like big coasters, right?
First big, like ever?
I mean, like not ever, but like among your first, right?
I guess. I mean, I've been on some pretty big coasters before.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm misinformed. Like you've been on coasters with inversions before.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
That loop was nothing. I mean,
oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. That was a fantastic roller coaster. It really was.
I just loved watching your face the whole time, Sandy. It was just like you were just having like, I mean, look at the picture. I'm just like, I'm so satisfied, and you're just like.
Is that the one with where it loops with the Mickey ears?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Although it's not Mickey ears anymore, it just loops over a Paradise Pier logo.
Oh, because I remember they used to have a roller coaster where they looped with Mickey's ears.
Well, yeah, it was the same ride. I'm just saying the ears are gone.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I actually think it looks better. I think the ears look kind of tacky, but that's just me. I think now with the Paradise Pier logo, it just fits in more.
All right.
Yeah, I had a great time. I wish Disneyland had more, or California Adventure had more coasters.
Well, Goofy Sky School was down when you were there, so you missed a Wild Mouse.
Yeah. I was looking forward to that one. Not a whole lot, but you know, I saw it from a distance and thought, oh, that looks nice.
Okay, so Sandy, throughout the day, you and Mandy and Reith were on a quest to find Oogie Boogie popcorn buckets, and at Paradise Pier, you actually got it.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, I managed to find these. Let's see. I have a picture I took on day 2. There we go. That was the stand we found them at. It was one stand in the entire
resort.
Exactly. They only
so basically, like you and Mindy and Reith were wearing these around your neck, and you got stopped like no less than 5 times throughout the night. You know, probably more than that, of people asking where you found them.
Yeah, and it's just this one little cart, you know, at the back, shoved way at the back of DCA, and you could only get these in Disney California Adventure. You couldn't find them in the actual, you know, Disneyland park. This one little stand with those boxes and that big cooler, Mickey cooler there, just full of Oogie Boogie popcorn.
So Monkey and I, we just kind of like went off to the side and rode the silly symphony swings while you and Garrett were in the middle of this mess.
We were one of the first people in line to get these. 'Cause I guess they had just gotten some, or people hadn't noticed them. I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal was, but they were right there, and people weren't lining up for them. But as soon as we got in line, everyone else backed up behind us.
Hey, those two guys are getting in line. We might as well do it too.
I was very happy, and I was really surprised. You know, Garrett. Yeah, at first he was kind of iffy on it, but then once he got him, he couldn't be happier. Like
Garrett just flat out didn't think he'd be able to get them. He was just like, no, they sell out super quickly. We're not going to be able to find them.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really glad we did. I mean, that, and of course that goes without saying, but yeah, I'm
all right.
Very glad I found these. Just very, very nice pieces.
So we went on the Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure, and you and Manny and Reef had your Oogie Boogies, and you were like narrating the whole ride with your Oogie Boogies. You were like giving like you were like giving like a running Oogie riff of the ride. And I was just like I was like a couple omnimovers down from you guys, but I just like I wished I was closer to you guys.
Wait, weren't Garrett, weren't Man-Eating Wreath and Monkey in the same thing, and then you and I were in the same?
No, I think I was with Monkey, and you were with Man-Eating Wreath.
Oh, okay. I can't remember, but I know Man-Eating Wreath was definitely going on a spiel of Oogie nonsense with the Little Mermaid ride.
Oh god!
And they glowed too.
That's what I love about hanging out with him, man. He's so fun at improv.
But then, of course, like every other ride photo, he had his Oogie Boogie up in front of his face.
Right.
Yeah, between the two of us, we got stopped quite a few times, and I brought mine on day 2, my Oogie popcorn bucket, to fill it up with actual popcorn. It's still a bit of a hassle because it really can't fit. It can hardly fit anything, and it's hard to, get your hand in the little compartment in the back.
Right.
It's more for looks, but
novelty.
Yeah, exactly. I still got stopped a few times in the second day. Way back at Gadgets Go Coaster, these people asked me, "Where'd you get that?" Ooh, you're in for quite the walk.
It's like literally like the other end of the resort.
Exactly. Like you better, yeah. And plus, unless they had park hopper tickets, you're kind of out of luck if you don't have, park hopper tickets or enough money to afford an entirely different park. Yeah. So what was after Little Mermaid?
After Little Mermaid, we did Monsters After Dark. Dark.
That was impressive. The music in that was impressive.
That was probably the single best thing of the night, I would say.
I think so too. Yeah. That was. I have one big complaint, and that was the monster they kept showing. I got the impression
I wish it was more monsters. Like, let's kind of build to that, Sandy, because I feel like in the queue you're led to expect more than you actually get.
Yeah. Definitely.
But from the second you walk into this thing and like the Cosmo crate is boarded up and it's like all hazmat and everything, and like there's red lights flashing everywhere. There's like security footage of monsters on the loose. And then I love how you walk into the library where Rocket is, and like Rocket is just like at work and he's like humming to himself. You know what I mean? Like it's so natural. It's like, because originally I believe Rocket pops up in the Mission Breakout one, but in Monsters After Dark, Rocket is like already like at work as you're walking into the actual room. So that was like a whole new level of immersion for me.
Yeah, and of course the Walkman is gone.
And so Rocket basically says like that we're going to be bait. Like he's very upfront about that. He's like, All right, so what you guys are gonna do are you're gonna draw all the monsters to your juicy Terran blood, so we can distract the monsters from Baby Groot and save Baby Groot.
He basically said basically the gist of it was just make all the noise you can and scream as loud as you can so we can save Baby Groot.
Right. And the thing I love about this ride is that it doesn't take itself even remotely seriously.
It doesn't, no.
Like the whole thing is so tongue-in-cheek that I got a kick out of it.
Captures the charm of Guardians, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it is genuinely creepy too.
It is. Like in the boiler room, you have all the different reflections and shadows of.
Yeah, you have like all these shadows in the boiler room of the different monsters.
Yeah, flying up out of sight, and then once you board, of course, my big gripe is with the actual ride itself. The music was amazing, but then the actual ride.
The music was amazing. Another amazing thing, Sandy, was the freaking airtime.
Yeah, that was great. I
mean, I honestly, I couldn't even care about the actual, ride. I didn't even care about only seeing one monster because that airtime, oh my God. I couldn't believe, it was Jacob, we're talking a good 20 seconds of floater airtime, at least.
Nice.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, that was something else. But then the monster... I'm sorry, I keep going back to this, but the monster was, it wasn't even that scary.
I don't think it was a bad monster. I just think the ride set it up that there was going to be a ton of different monsters.
Yeah, it gave you all the infrareds of all these different monsters.
Right.
Oh well.
But you know what, Sandy? I had the same exact nitpick walking out of it, but the ride itself was so fun. And I think the ride experience flowed together better than Mission Breakout did, at least for me.
Yeah, it definitely didn't take itself seriously at all, which is perfect for Guardians. But both of them. I'm really glad I got to go in October, for that very reason, because goes without saying, obvious reasons we've just talked about. I was so tempted to get that collector Funko Pop they had in the gift shop.
the golden collector statue.
Yeah. Man.
Well,
it was
cool.
$20 though.
Wait, it was $40?
No, it was $20.
Oh. Yeah, that's not too bad. I paid $20 for Howard.
I know. It's I'm glad I didn't get it because I needed that money later on.
Yeah, I gave you PT, so
yeah.
I actually have two Funko Pops myself. One of Rocket and Baby Groot.
Did you get them at the park?
No, I got them at FYE.
Okay.
You just mentioned Funko Pops and reminded me of that.
Yeah, while we were at Disneyland, they had at Disney World. While we were at Disneyland, they had Figment Pops at Disney World. So it's oh, come on, guys, why can't you have those here?
Right.
I would have totally gotten a Figment Pop.
Disneyland had a lot of stuff that we didn't, that Disney World didn't have.
And Disney World also had Justin Scarred while we were there.
That's true. Yeah,
which was kind of frustrating.
That was frustrating because,
curses Disney World, you stole Justin from us.
Yeah, that was. Oh well. We had a good time, anyways. And the whole mob meetup thing, that was kind of.
Oh, that was just a failure on our end. That was we had delusions of grandeur about how good that was going to go. Oh man,
we had a better time without the mob, though, without anybody else.
Oh, I definitely think so too. I totally agree. All right.
What was after Mission Break?
After Monsters After Dark, we did my personal nightmare, which was Ghost Galaxy.
Oh yes.
The Space
Mountain. Man.
Monkey was so kind to have fast passes for all of us like that.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Monkey for giving us the max pass or whatever the hell it was and putting us on the system and everything. Because we saved a ton of time because we basically got to fast pass both Monsters After Dark and Ghost Galaxy.
That was wonderful.
That was a lifesaver. Yeah.
No, Space Mountain.
So Ghost Galaxy is terrifying.
Regular Space Mountain is terrifying enough.
I tend to agree, Jacob. Regular Space Mountain is sort of terrifying because you have like all the low clearances. It's like totally in the dark. It's super high up. There's just like all this metal around you. And it's freaking haunted, and I've encountered the ghost in Space Mountain. I don't even want to get into that here because we're already running long.
Space Mountain itself is like a really big tangle of track everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. So Ghost Galaxy, like, basically when the ride first started, I was like, oh, I'll be fine. And then the lights go out in the first lift, and then you go into like the the tunnel in between the first lift and the second lift, and it's completely dark. And I'm like, no, this is not cool.
Yeah, I could like sense, like I could feel your vibrations.
Oh yeah, and you were fucking with me too. You were like, oh, I'm the ghost of Ghost Galaxy, Tiki. Oh, I'm Mr. One Way. I'm like, shut up, Ezra. This is not the time.
Don't they do the same overlay at Disney World?
I don't think they have this same overlay at Disney World.
Oh, that sucks.
You are paranoid, like beyond anything.
No, I wasn't paranoid. I was genuinely just terrified. It wasn't paranoia.
No, just afterwards, after you got off the ride, and you're just like
afterwards. Yeah, well, we'll talk about afterwards. I mean, on the ride, I think the thing that really got me, like, if they didn't have that damn scream in the ride, I think I would have been fine. But that stupid scream every time that Banshee gets close to your train, it got to the point where as we were like about like maybe a minute before the ride ended, I was like, I just want this to be over. Because it was like overwhelming to me because it was like literally Space Mountain, as Jacob said, in itself is like a crazy, like twisted mess of steel. And then you've got like these crazy ghost projections and this terrifying shriek. This terrifying sound design. It shook me. And then, of course, you have that jump scare right at the end.
Yeah. And if you're sitting in the front, that jump scare really gets you. If you're sitting in the back, then, really you don't even see it. But
and Manny and Reed the Monkey, like, they were really hoping we were going to be in the front, too.
I'm looking at the poster for this thing, and it's actually pretty creepy.
It is. Like you said, Tiki, the sound design, the shrieks and everything.
So as we were walking out, and I'm like filming my reaction to it, and I'm like, okay, that genuinely like scared the crap out of me.
I know.
And we're walking past Space Mountain, and we hear like the shrieks coming from Space Mountain. Sandy, I believe that is what you're talking about with my paranoia. Like, I did not even want to walk past Space Mountain after that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit. I got cut off.
I'm sorry.
In the ride, you were mentioning the sound design. You have it coming from different directions, the shrieks. So it's like you don't know where it's going to be next. That's what I loved about it.
It's easily the most intense Disney ride I've ever been on for me. Easily.
The music isn't bad either. I mean, it's really simple, but it definitely adds to the whole experience. And the shrieks outside that was pretty scary, I have to admit.
Nice.
Well, yeah. Then we got pizza.
Yeah, well, that was just a quick aside. Yeah. And then after that, we finally went over to the Rivers of America to take a night cruise on the Mark Twain.
Oh, that's right.
Which was really nice, man. Like, I gotta say, I love how the Rivers of America looks now. It's like, it makes me proud as a Disney fan to see that area of the park has been taken care of so nicely.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's so detailed. It looks like something out of 1960s Disney, but with today's technology.
Exactly. The beautiful animatronics, and even at night, everything is so lit. It's perfectly lit. You can see everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that was a nice kind of like breather after Ghost Galaxy.
Plus, when you're on the boat and you have the train going overhead, it's like, wow.
Oh yeah, when the train passed by, that was great, right? And of course, my favorite detail of the new river is where it looks like the pylons of the train are like chewed up by the beavers.
Oh yeah, that's right. The big beams.
Damn beavers.
All right, so then I believe we took a quick jaunt over to Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah, I passed that. Yeah, that's right. We went to Winnie the Pooh, didn't we?
Yeah, we walked all the way over to Winnie the Pooh. That was kind of out of the way.
We had to see Piglet.
Yeah, let's not even bring up Piglet. We don't have time for Piglet. And running joke. There we go.
And I got to see the old jamboree.
Yeah, that was like the most excited I was about going on this with you, is that I got to point those out to you.
That was great. I forgot to look for them on day 2 because I went on Pooh. It was a total walk on. Like I could have gone twice. There was no line at all. It was great, but I forgot to look for those heads.
They're right after the Heffalump room, but you have to turn around.
Yeah.
Turn around and look up after the Heffalump room.
Nice.
Man, there's a lot of honey in this ride.
Pooh's a solid attraction, I think.
It is.
Not much else to say about it.
No, there's really not.
Okay, so getting towards the end of our night here, folks, we then went over to the Jungle Cruise and the Tiki Room. This was when Monkey departed for the evening, and Manning Reith was left with us. And once again, props to Monkey for getting those fast passes, because that was like that saved us that night.
Yeah, when we were on the Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. When we were on the
because I ran into Maynard yesterday.
Who's Maynard, by the way? I thought I asked that.
Oh, if you look on my
he's a very enigmatic cast member who's like really famous for like being super into his job.
He's been there for years and years and years. If you look at my Facebook page, I posted a picture of me. What were we talking? Yeah, the Tom Sawyer. When we were doing all that, we would have been on Monsters After Dark if Monkey hadn't gotten those tickets.
Right, exactly. Okay, so Jungle Cruise, we had like a terrible skipper.
Oh, that was a bummer.
Like, we're talking this girl just like she just obviously wanted to get the hell off of her shift.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was painful. Like it was like awkward.
I think I kind of experienced that when I went on the Haunted Mansion, because I mean, maybe because either that was part of the atmosphere that they were trying to go for, but there's just like the woman that like the lady that ushered us into she's like, step into the dead center of the room. It's like she's like, I don't want to say. You can pretty much tell by the way she's saying, I don't want to say that.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
But with
I don't want to give crap to this girl. Like, I'm sure she was just having a bad day or something. But like with the Jungle Cruise, it's like you're stuck there with them the whole 8 minutes, and it was just it got to a point where it was just like awkward, like socially awkward.
The skipper is a part of the ride. When you have a bad skipper, it's like a part of the ride doesn't work.
Yeah.
But to talk about someone who got into their jobs, like when I was on the Great Movie Ride, they really got into that. That's where I really appreciated that.
Well, to kind of counteract the bad skipper, Ezra, do you have anything to say about the Jungle Cruise besides that?
What was it? What are you looking for here?
Oh, I don't know. Just anything about the ride
Oh.
itself besides the fact that we had a bad skipper.
I thought it was great. Lived up to my expectations. The animatronics were, or I guess if you want to call most of those.
I mean, it's definitely a night ride. I love the Jungle Cruise at night.
Yeah, the hippos weren't as animated as I was hoping, but I'm not sure if they were just broken or something.
I'm pretty sure at least one of them was broken.
Yeah. It was a great ride. I know the second day was definitely a trial because I made a foolish mistake of thinking that the queue was only ground level, but no, it was.
Oh, you got to experience the upper story.
Yeah, and that was a nightmare because it was
Yeah,
really hot.
yeah. That's that's pretty misleading.
Yeah, so I got stuck in that line. That was.
Did you at least get a better skipper?
Yeah, the skipper was a lot better.
Good.
I don't know if it was worth the line though. Could have gotten on, something like.
I hear you.
Indiana Jones or something. I'm not sure, but anyways.
Now to make up for the bad skipper, we actually got a really good tiki room host.
Yeah, we did.
Like this guy was super into it. Like he did a whole spiel, and then like he did a proper wake up Jose, which I haven't seen a proper wake up Jose with audience participation in years. So that was nice to see. And then at the end, which I haven't even seen Maynard do this. Like this guy was seriously auditioning for Maynard's tiki room spot. Like at the end, when all the birds are singing about like giving the recap of the show in to the tune of Hi Ho from Snow White. He comes in, and he's like clapping his hands and gets the whole audience to start clapping along. And I'm like, dude, you were awesome. You were like going out of your way. Also, his name is Michael, and so there's a line early on where Jose's like, Michael, mi amigo. And when Jose said Michael, the guy was like, what?
Now,
and
wait.
Then, he's like, oh. Oh, that was like that guy was so fun. Apparently,
wait.
What?
Jose wasn't calling out to him directly, like the audio.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Is that like an actual line Jose has always had, or?
Yeah, because the character's name is Michael. Because he's calling it out to Michael, who's the German parrot.
Oh, okay. I thought the cast member's name was Michael.
No, the cast member's name was Michael, but that was the joke.
Oh, okay, I see. All right.
Like the cast member thought Jose was referring to him when Jose was actually referring to the parrot Michael.
Yeah, that'd be kind of creepy if Jose called Ezra.
Oh God. Actually, this cast member apparently has a private tiki bar, and he goes by the name of Malaria Mike. So more power to him. Like he's really into the tiki culture, I guess, and it shows.
Awesome.
Interesting moniker.
Yeah. I mean, it does go with the South Pacific theme. All right, so we're kind of wrapping things up. We got a nice night ride on Casey Jr., which, Sandy, I don't know about you. To me, a night ride on Casey Jr. is essential.
Oh, yeah. I remember going on night rides on Casey.
Like, a day at Disneyland does not feel complete without a night ride on Casey Jr. for me.
Or at least some ride on Casey Jr., whether it's on the day or night.
No, for me, it's specifically night for me.
All right, I guess to each his own. I think
because you have all the lights on and the miniatures and the lights on the hills and everything.
I was about to say the night is definitely more prominent because of all the lights and the colors and the water and everything. It's just it's nice. The one thing, of course, we both noticed was the audio.
Yeah, the audio was really bad. I don't know if it was just that we were in the back of the train and it was that one speaker that was really bad. But yeah, that was very noticeable.
Yeah, that was.
But still, you know what? I don't care because it's a freaking classic ride. I love it.
Oh yeah. How long has that ride been around?
Since like practically opening day. It opened like a couple weeks after the rest of the park.
Okay, and that's the same train that they opened with, right?
It's the same train. It's the same track. The only thing that's changed is the area around it.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, so kind of wrapping things up, we hit a couple dark rides. We hit Pinocchio and Ezra. I don't know about you, man. Oh God, the queue for Pinocchio just drained me for some reason. Do you remember that?
I honestly have no memory of the Pinocchio queue.
Oh man, it was super humid in there for some reason. It just killed my energy. Like I felt like I was gonna be sick in there. I don't know what it was. It was just like, I guess, like, it was like a mostly outdoor queue, but it didn't have any ventilation. And oh man, I don't know. It was just like, I just remember that queue being really unpleasant.
Huh.
But
I really don't remember much. I remember the Snow White queue when we did Snow White. We never talked about that, but we did Snow White.
well, yeah, Snow White was right after we did Pinocchio.
Oh, it was okay.
Any thoughts on Pinocchio?
It's exactly the way I remember it. Every last little detail. It's from Jim the Cricket falling down the hallway at the beginning of the ride to Monstro at the end. It's wonderful. It's a great ride. Very, very solid.
So Snow White was like, I don't know, man. Like, for my money, the jump scares were more aggressive than the last time I remember going on it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump right back to Pinocchio.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
I noticed this in the park several times. What was it? On Winnie the Pooh, on Roger Rabbit, and Pinocchio, they all have one big thing in common, and that's the humongous Jack-in-the-Box creatures laughing at you.
You're right. You're right. Oh my God. Roger Rabbit, Pinocchio, and Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, all three of them.
Yeah, the Imagineers must really love.
It's a motif. You're right. I love it.
Didn't I just see this? Am I having deja vu?
No, you're not just seeing it. You're right. Like 3 rides do it. I'm surprised there's not demented Jack-in-the-Boxes somewhere in the hell scene of Mr. Toad.
Yeah, you're right. That would fit probably, wouldn't it? But yeah, Snow White, man, that was scary. That was scary.
I mean, it is I think it might have been because I was running on like 0 sleep and I was like, my body was like literally shutting down by that point, but Snow White was like more intense than I remember it.
Yeah, like how like it's like Alice where he gets really close to the characters. Except with this, it's like
except the characters, like in Alice, the characters are like all charming and weird and colorful, and in Snow White, they're all like super abrasive.
Exactly.
And I believe our last ride of the night, we kind of like just caught it on the way out because we noticed it was still open and there was no line, was Star Tours, which I think was actually a really nice way to end things out.
Oh, I think so too. Star Tours met and went above and beyond my expectations. I've never seen a ride through online of Star Tours. I've never been on it. I almost went on it as a kid, but I think I got too scared.
And you were doing, of course, the refurbished version.
Yeah, and wow. I wanted to do that again the second day, but the line was just too long.
Yeah, the line can get unmanageable for Star Tours, and it's not the fastest loading thing either. So
that was very, very good ride. I loved it.
And then, of course, walking out of the park, one last note, of course, I made a point to stop and admire the firehouse for a second and admire the light in the window and everything, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Which, to me, Ezra, I said this to you in the park in the moment, but I was like, no matter what they build here, no matter how impressive Star Wars Land is, that lantern in the window is always going to be the most important thing in the park.
Exactly. I think so too.
All right.
It's perfect way to end the night.
I'd say so. All right. Any teases on the second half of this, Sandy? Let's just say things don't go quite as smoothly in the second half of the trip, but they end off on an awesome note, though. We kind of have a rough patch in the middle, but then by the time we get to the main event, which is not Scary Farm, that is like a fantastic like climax to the trip.
Oh yeah, that was
So,
great. And we already said everything we needed to about
Yeah.
Goofy, and that was
oh
of a
God.
big selling point for Downtown Disney.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us, and see you on the next one.
Bye bye.